What's up, y'all? How y'all doing tonight?
What up?
My name is Zack Bateman. Let's give it up for my homeboy BB, little rapper. One more time. I remember like a couple of years back, him and I fucking played this shit here, and I was playing guitar for him. I think I was like severely out of tune that night. I remember that. But anyway, how's everybody doing tonight?
Hey!
I said, how's everybody doing tonight? So I was gonna start out this thing with this Vietnamese accent that I like to do, but then I realized everybody here essentially knows me, and it would kind of lose its thing. But you know, I love Vietnamese people. I kick it with Vietnamese people, like, or used to kick it with Vietnamese people, like, on a daily. And they're just so cool, and they're always, like, smoking their cigarettes and their little squats and shit. You know, they'd be like, how come the handsome man always beat the gay? What the hell? Take the long butt ride from the Richmond to the Oakland? But I was listening to, I think it was KMEL the other day. Who listens to KMEL? The white dude in the audience listens to KMEL. But I was listening to KMEL, and I was really tripping because they were playing my homeboy Biz Markie.
Hey!
And I love Biz Markie, and I'm just sitting there, I'm at work, I'm in the back washing dishes, and everybody's hearing me from the bathroom, and I'm just like, oh baby, you got what I need, but you say he just a friend, yeah, you say he just a friend, and I was like, hold up, why the fuck does Biz Markie sound just like Tracy Morgan? Can anybody tell me this shit? I used to do this thing with my brother. Because he lives in, don't worry, we're still on the same topic, and I'm not just going random trains of thought here. But I used to do this thing with my brother, because he lives in New York. And he apparently works like right down the street from the 30 Rock building. So what I used to do was I used to fuck with him, and I used to call him up as Tracy Morgan. And I'd be like, hey Patrick, I heard you was talking shit. Yo, I think we need to settle this shit right now. And then he would call me up the next morning and he'd be like, dude, I don't know what I did wrong, but Tracy Morgan just called me threatening me. I don't know what to do. I really don't want to piss off Tracy Morgan. So that shit was crazy. The last time I was here, we had a bunch of spoken word and poets. Do we have any poets tonight? The one that always got me every time I would come to Holla Back was my homeboy Ghetto Prophet. You guys know Ghetto Prophet? Ghetto Prophet is the shit. And I got really inspired after I first saw Ghetto Prophet. And like I was like, I want to do shit like that. But I didn't really have a message like he does. Like my thing was just like, I knew how he said things. I knew what to do with it, but I didn't have an actual message to it. So it just sounded ridiculous. I would be like, yo, if you want a strip of bacon, you gotta peel some off that bacon. If you want a leaf, you gotta get that shit from a tree. It was all just like really general shit. That's where that joke went, and it was just kind of. Anyway, I was a hip hop artist. Now I'm a hip hop artist again, and I'm just kind of going back and forth and playing a bunch of shows with this dude. Give it up one more time for BB for booking this. There's something I always notice, we as rappers, and I know most people in here, how many of y'all hip hop artists out here? How many of y'all MCs? So you know what I mean when I say you gotta do ad-libs.
Yeah.
Yep.
And ad-libs are this thing where you're kind of hyping yourself up. You're bagging your own vocals up, and then you're also saying shit. Like, if you say something funny on the track, you're like, ha ha, yeah, you're a genius. And I was like, I tried to take it out of context one time. I was like, what if I took that away from the recording studio, and you're just some motherfucker on the street? So you just walk around, yeah, ha ha. Oh! And you see that shit in Oakland all the time, dude. Oh! And I noticed Jay-Z has so much fun with himself, dude. He's like in the background of every single song, just like having a good old time with himself. He's just like, yeah, you're a genius. Oh, I like that. I agree with you. To the shit that he is saying. E40 does that too, yeah, but E40 just kind of like repeats the things that he says himself. He'll be like, coming around the bay and I'm riding on a scraper. I love hip hop. One of the things that actually got me into hip hop is, it's a funny thing, it was DMX.
Oh.
Who here was a fan of DMX at one point? What? Yo, no! Or Lil Jon was doing that shit, DMX was doing that shit, that's all I'm saying.
And before they knew it was on it.
Yup.
That's the water.
But the thing about DMX that really got to me when I was like in college and I found out about his first time getting arrested. And we all knew DMX got arrested on the regular, you know. But I found out about this one time where he got arrested for beating dogs and possession of crack. And apparently, and yeah, I know the media did him dirty, but apparently, and this is in his own interview, he admitted to this, but he barked at the scene of the crime. So I'm imagining they was coming to the house, and he's just like, and this is as they're taking him down, and as they're like trying to pull him into the car, it's like, Pookie, they're coming to get us! What? I love DMX though. That was my homie. He got me rapping. Seriously. I remember in junior high there would be like a lot of fights going on in my school, but they never actually ended up as fights. Like a lot of the time it was two dudes, and they would. Do you guys remember this thing? This was a big thing with fighting in schools for a while. They would be shoulder to shoulder, and they would just be like, what? What? Do something. Let me see you do something. I remember one time this shit was ridiculous. He's like, do something. No, you do something. No, you do something. I bet, fuck you. And they start crying. And then eventually it ended up they started hugging. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And I see this dude come up, the principal, he comes up, and he's like, all right, everybody, just hold on, what's going on? Oh. And then you see these two dudes just crying and hugging each other. He's like, all right, come on guys, let's go, let's talk it out. Shit was ridiculous. I have a Metro phone, being in the Bay Area. Who else has a Metro phone here? I like paying $25 a month for a phone, but what I don't like about a Metro phone is all the weird ass calls that I get from having a Metro phone from people that think I'm still somebody else. It's ridiculous because what they do is they just give your number off if you haven't paid your bill. So I get weird ass phone calls sometimes. Like one of the phone calls I got was this dude, and he was eating something, and he was like, "Hey, yo, is Tyrone there?" I'm like, no, I think you have the wrong number. He's like, yeah, I get it. I got the wrong number. Whatever. Is Tyrone there? I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. You got the wrong number. I don't know who Tyrone is. He's like, I get it. You don't know who Tyrone is. Is Tyrone there? And I'm like, dude, again, I'm sorry. He's like, look, I've been sitting here for 3 hours with a bucket of grease on my chest, and Tyrone still ain't called me back. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go. Nice talking to you. That shit was crazy. Anybody ever get It happens in the Bay a lot as well, especially in San Leandro, this shit happens the most, somebody comes up to you and asks you if you want to buy DVDs. And I started thinking, I was like, when did drugs get replaced with DVDs? It's like when I was in high school, everybody was like, hey bro, you need some trees? And I would be like, yeah. Now, it's like, hey bro, you need some movies? I'm just like, no. It is weird because I see them approach other people too about this, and they have the same reactions as they do about the drugs. Like with people that aren't really into like smoking or anything like that, it's like, hey bro, you need some trees, and they're like, no, I'm okay, sir. You know, get away. And somebody asking for movies. It's like, hey bro, you like movies? He's like, no, never watched a movie in my life. I hate movies. And this one time, this dude, I was like, you know what? All right, fine. I'm gonna look at what he's got. Maybe he's got something cool. And he's going through all this stuff. He's like, yo, I got Avengers bootleg. I got, Dark Knight bootleg. I got Ghost Dad. I got Moneyball. And I was like, wait, hold up. Go back to Ghost Dad. He's like, oh yeah, that's just in there on accident. I'm like, give me Ghost Dad. I'm gonna take Ghost Dad. Because I love Bill Cosby. And who here was raised with Bill Cosby? That's right. Who here was raised with Fat Albert? Dude, Fat Albert is some trippy shit, I swear. Like, when I was a kid, I liked Fat Albert because I was just like, oh, this is animated and he's got a funny voice. But then I realized, like, I watched an episode recently, and Fat Albert's like, he's like, hey guys, I just found out that my friend Stacy has a rare case of chlamydia, which is a sexually transmitted disease, so we should help her out. And I was like, Dad, what did he just say? What's going on here? And I watched other episodes, and I was like, Fat Albert went into some really serious shit. Like, Fat Albert would go into some, there was this dude that always came around, and he was real cool, but then they all found out that he had a drug problem. And like, something vicious, too, not like, oh, Jimmy smokes a little weed every now and then. No, it was like, oh, Jimmy is addicted to heroin, so let's find him a rehab clinic. And I was like, this is ridiculous, And I always noticed that Fat Albert's just trying to be a good guy this entire show, right? But everybody's just always giving him shit. Poor Fat Albert, He's like, let's go help this person out. And then, his friend's like, Fat Albert, you couldn't find a chicken in a chicken coop. It's just like, man, what are you trying to fuck up my day? I'm just trying to help some people. Shit. I am running out. Oh, man. Okay. So who here likes to eavesdrop on people's conversations? Because I do. I love doing it. I hear some crazy shit. Okay. So you're from Richmond, right? Yeah. Okay, you ever go to Hilltop Mall for some ungodly reason? You ever go to Hilltop Mall? Yeah, me too, unfortunately.
I don't condone it.
Yeah, nah. But last couple of times I was in Hilltop, it was funny because I'm seeing all these ridiculous conversations going on. I hear these dudes at GameStop and they're like, hey bro, you hear about that one shit that's coming out? It's like, it's that one shit. It's oh no, it's some shit. And then his friend's like, oh, I heard about that shit. That's that new shit. And I was just like, what the fuck just happened here? Another one that I heard was pretty funny because this is in the time. Last time I was at Hilltop Mall was in the time when people would try to get at girls by saying random shit about them and making that their name. Like her right here would be, hey, plaid shirt. What's up, plaid shirt? Hey, what's up? Yep. Hey, Skin, what's up? Hey, what's up, Skin? And that shit worked. He's like, hey, Green Shoes, I heard this. Hey, Green Shoes, let me get your number, Green Shoes. Let me get your number. And she's like, okay. It was like, damn. I know, right? Shit. I only got a couple more here for you guys. I think I know what I'm gonna end this one on. I got a friend. I think everybody's got a friend here. Like, you know that friend that like he's around, but you're like, fuck, he's here today. You know, like, but like you love him to death at the same time. Like he's a cool dude, but at the same time he's just like, goddamn, he's the most embarrassing one in your group, essentially. Yeah, that guy. So I got one of those, and I love him to death, and we kind of related in a way. And he'll just pull some shit every once in a while that you're just like, dude, come on. Like, you know, I like to say ridiculous things when I'm at restaurants or when I'm, you know, I like to say really obscene, messed up things every once in a while. As we all. And I remember a couple of times I was doing that, and he comes up to me outside and he's like, hey, dude, like, look. You gotta stop doing that shit. He's like, you know what? It's cool when you do it at home, and I know you think it's funny, but it's not funny, bro. It's really inappropriate, dude. That's hell of inappropriate. You're ridiculous right now. Cute girl walks by, damn, the shit that I would eat out of her ass. Just like, oh. And he's talking to me about inappropriate stuff, right? So he just does little things like that, but at the same time, you gotta love him. And I remember this one time, I'm gonna get real personal with y'all. I'm gonna get real personal, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Can I get personal with you guys? Okay. Okay, it's a little embarrassing on my end. Okay, so I'm really drunk one night, you know, and I'm staying the night at his house, you know, and I fall asleep. And I had this dream that I'm performing a show or some shit, I forget what it was. And in this dream, I really had to take a piss. And I took a piss in that dream, right? Then I wake up, and I'm just like, oh, fuck. Oh, God. Are you serious? And I'm gonna just say it real blunt with y'all, I pissed myself. Whatever. Okay? So I pissed myself. I'm like, oh God, this is terrible. You know, I wash my clothes, I do my laundry, I change the sheets, I change everything out, right? And I'm like, this is not cool, you know. And I try to spray it down and everything. And you know, it's smelling all right. I sleep in the living room, you know, when I come back. And I come back in the room the next day, and I'm trying to play it off because it still kind of smells. And I play it off real cool. I'm just like, dude, what? It fucking smells like piss in here, dude. What happened? And then he goes, I don't know, dude. It just kind of smells like that sometimes. Alright, thank you guys. You've been great. My name's Zack Bateman.
Right where you at. Please tell the people where they can find your work at and all that jazz, man.
You can find my stuff at zackbateman.bandcamp.com. And that's a Zack with a Z-A-C-K. Not like all these H motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah! Give that to Zack one more